What is up YouTube? I'm Royal, I'm rank 1 in Wildrift, and in this video I'm playing tank Yasuo, and I'm super excited about this video because I've been practicing my Yasuo and trying to get really good with him after the buffs. And I made a Yasuo video a couple days ago playing him damage, and now I'm playing him tank. So before we even begin with the build, I'll give you a small explanation on when to pick tank Yasuo and when to pick damage Yasuo in my opinion, because both builds are extremely good right now. And I also have an insane gameplay to show you, so stick around for that because my Yasuo has gotten really good. So, tank Yasuo is best against team comps that are more tanky. They have burst damage, but they don't have the consistent damage to take you down. Because when you're low HP and you're constantly getting the healing from the grass procs, from the Wits End's healing, and from the Divine Thunder, you become so hard to kill when you have all these tanky stats from the armor, magic resist, and HP. So when the enemies have burst, but they don't have consistent damage, I find tank Yasuo to be a lot better. And versus enemies that do have consistent damage or are overall squishier, not as tanky, so they will be doing a lot more damage, I think it's best to just go damage Yasuo and one-shot them before they can one-shot you. And obviously you'll have to play that very well. Tank Yasuo is a lot easier to play because there's more room for error. Now let's talk quickly about his build. You're obviously going to be taking Wits Ends, plated steel caps. This is the core of the build. If the enemies have an AD laner, you're gonna go for plated steel caps first, and if the enemies you're playing versus an AP champion, you're gonna go for Wits Ends first, but you're gonna be getting both of these items. Then you're gonna take Divine Thunder as your second item, and you complete your core. You get your HP, your magic resist, and your armor, and you're very tanky. Then you have some choices. The choices are: do the enemies have a lot of armor? Yes. Or do the enemies have a lot of AD and you need armor? Yes, go Thornmail. Then you buff Thornmail is really good with this build. Do the enemies have a lot of magic resist? Spirit Visage is actually a really underrated item on Yasuo because you get all the healing from Wits Ends, from Divine Thunder, from Grasp Amplified. And on top of that, it works really nicely with your passive shield. For your last items, you have some good choices between Bloodthirster and Moral Reminder, which both are really good. Versus very tanky teams, Moral Reminder is probably a little better. Versus squishier teams, Bloodthirster is really good. Of course, Moral Reminder is really good versus champions that heal a lot too, to stop those sustained fights and make sure that you win them. This is actually a spot where you can also try out Terminus. Terminus can work really well in these long team fights as well, giving you a lot of armor and magic resist. Lastly, Sterak's Gauge, super good when the enemies have a lot of CC because it gives you so much tenacity and also stops some of that initial burst. So again, in the situations that you want to pick Yasuo, Sterak's Gauge also works really good in the situations that you want to play tank Yasuo. And Guardian Angel is of course a staple late game item, it's really strong. For your runes, we're going to be going Grasp, Brutal, and Alacrity. Those three are mandatory. Now, you can choose between Giant Slayer and Last Stand. If the enemies are very tanky, Giant Slayer is a must. If they're not, Last Stand actually works really well as well with this build because you're constantly low HP, healing off that Wits Ends. However, for the most part, you're going to be going Giant Slayer. And for your Resolve rune, you'll have the choice between Overgrowth, Second Wind, and Nullifying Orb. Versus off Poke, go Second Wind. Versus Burst, go Nullifying Orb. And if the enemies if you have an easy lane where you can just farm up and scale to the late game, Overgrowth is a great choice. For your summer spells, you're pretty much always going Ignite or Exhaust versus some matchups like Jace or Fizz that just go in and go for a burst combo. You can negate that burst combo with Exhaust and then you can beat them in the long fight. Let's jump straight into the gameplay, and I'm so excited for this game because I've been getting so good on Yasuo in my personal opinion. I think I've had a lot of improvement on the champion. If you go and watch some of my older Yasuo vids, I was not very clean on him, but now I've actually gotten really good. And we're in the Baron lane. We're actually swapped with TF. He wanted to go mid, so I said, hey, no problem. Yasuo can be played in the Baron lane as well. So we're gonna go into the Baron lane. The enemy team has a Teemo and Yone. I assumed that we were versus Teemo in the Baron lane because that's what's most common, but it seems like we're going to be versus our brother Yone. And this is a very fun matchup for Yasuo because of how much stronger Yasuo is in the early game versus Yone. So even though our trades are actually not going very well, he's also going for the grasp build, so no lethal tempo shenanigans here. Even though technically we played these trades worse than him, we actually have the advantage. And we're gonna hit level 2 and immediately punish that. We've gotten a lot of grasp procs. Also, he started with attack speed, which is a mistake. When you have grasp like this, you want to be starting with the ruby crystal. And now, just because of our grasp advantage, since it does more damage and more healing because of the extra HP, we're able to easily win these trades, even though in reality we kind of misplayed them. He played those early trades better than I did. But we've definitely been able to get an early game lead in terms of HP, which is really, really good for us. I think he's already used up his plant as well. We're gonna ward the enemy Krugs just to see when the enemy jungler is gonna be coming topside, because that's probably where he's gonna be heading to before he looks to get top. We're doing a great job dashing in and out of the minions to get grasp procs. Oh, and he made a mistake, and we're gonna be able to all in him and get the first blood. And that's why Yasuo beats Yo in the early game so easily. We're able to windwall his third first ability, while there's nothing he can do about our first ability. We also have more shields than him with our passive. And of course we're able to dash in and out of the minions, kind of dictating when the fight happens. Okay, it looks like Jarvan still stayed top, but we do have our jungler coming. So this is actually a good fight for us. Oh, he's just gonna dash away. But that's a-okay for us. Oh, I might as well use a little scorpion thing. I do have level 5, so if Hecarim can get a knock-up here, he's not going to be able to get the knock-up. But that's okay, we'll just push the wave in base. We're very, very far ahead in terms of gold because of our first blood. Yep, we're over 600 gold ahead. We're going to take our plated steel caps and we're going to start building towards our wit's ends. But now with plated steel caps, it's going to be very difficult for Yone to be able to withstand our damage. And since he didn't start with Ruby Crystal, he's actually not building into armor boots. He's building into his wit's ends first. Which, I mean, he could build into Blade of the Ruined King too, I guess. But he's not going to be as tanky as us, and it's going to be super easy to win these fights.
No one is promised tomorrow.
Especially since we already have a lead. So I'm not going to immediately push the wave, right? I want room to be able to chase him down in a fight with my dashes. So I'm just going to wait for him to walk into us. And I'm going to immediately start dashing on him and doing as much damage as I can. Getting these grasp procs, even doing my ulti on him. And he's able to run away, but that was good poke for us. Now again, we're going to start slowly pushing the wave. Dashing through the minions whenever we can to look for an opportunity to trade with him. He actually used his third ability. We're gonna jump on him again. And this could be a dive because we're full HP. He's very little HP. We do have Ignite. I don't think I have the damage for it, so I'm gonna keep going in and out, just poking him down as much as I can. Now we can finally look for a dive. Flash out of his ulti with Ignite. He's gonna go down. And now he's gonna miss all these minions. And that was only possible because we set up the wave in our side of the lane. Then we dashed through the minions, did our little trade, but we didn't keep pushing hard, right? We slow pushed a massive wave. And with this massive wave, we're able to easily dive him. And on top of that, the extra benefit is that now he's gonna miss this entire wave, right? So he missed so many minions in the Baron lane there, under turret. So now we have a massive lead in our lane, which is expected in this matchup, but I'm almost like 2,000 gold up on him. That is not normal. That is way too big of a lead. And since we're going for similar builds and playstyles, it's even more oppressive, because the bigger the lead I get, the harder it will be for him to come back. Jarvan is actually here, so we're just gonna dash out. No point in fighting this. And he barely does any damage to us anyway, since we have plated steel caps. Looks like Jarvan actually did the Scorpion, so we're just gonna stay back and chill. I'm assuming he's probably still Baron lane. So I'm not gonna walk up, I'm just gonna go over the bush. Yep, of course he's still there. We're wasting a lot of his time, and now my team's gonna go to Dragon, so that could be a free Dragon for us. I'm just gonna push out the wave. Maybe Jarvan is going for a Herald, so I'm gonna go check the Herald. It seems like TF was not there. He's now only ulting, but Jarvan is already there. This is actually not a good fight for my team because it will be a 4v5 eventually when Jarvan comes or when Yone comes. But they're losing the 4v4 anyway. But I'll start the Herald in the meantime. You guys know that Herald is way better than Dragon, so I'm not even sure why we're going to Dragon in the first place. My team actually loses the fight and the Dragon. Yone was not even there to contribute, that was just a 4v4. But I will be able to sneak the Herald while my team ends, which is really, really good for us. And I don't really want to use it Baron lane, especially since I've already taken most of the plates. I'll go grab another one right now. Oh, Jarvan's actually here. I can focus Jarvan and probably win this. I'm assuming he doesn't have ult. Perfect knock-up to dodge the Yone ult as well. And we're able to pick up the Jarvan, which I assumed he had no ult because he was just in a fight. And that's a big shutdown for us. Yone cannot fight us even when we're this low HP because of the Witch End's healing. Okay, no more messing around though. We don't need to over push our boundaries and die here for no reason. We're just gonna recall, get our components, and immediately run mid to use the Rift Herald. Is the Teemo mid lane gonna stop us? We can actually jump through the minions and go on him right away. Oh, he's really fast. Okay, we'll drop the Herald. The moment he takes aggro, we're gonna walk in, do a few more oil attacks on the Herald, on the turret, excuse me. Get the turret. And I'm gonna keep pushing with the turret just to make sure that he gets another hit on the next turret. And that is super well played from me so far. We're gonna go ahead and counter jungle a bit. I don't want to stay for the big raptor, it might be a little greedy. Show where the enemy team is. Instead I'm gonna go for Skull Crab. And then I'm gonna go top lane, push out a wave. Probably base because I can get my Divine Sunder, which is a pretty big power spike for me. Okay, it looks like Yone will slowly start coming. I'm gonna push one more wave for sure to stop him from getting my turret or getting any damage on my turret. I keep just harassing him under the tower, honestly, and there's not much you can do. We're getting so many grass pokes. Gonna use our ultimate as well just for poke. Maybe I can dive him. Oh, she caught us under the turret. Oh, that is a disaster. Okay, that was a really greedy play from me. I did not need to go for that type of dive. Well, I didn't put Yone back in the game because he didn't get the kill, but I gave a big shutdown to Jarvan, which is not great. We're already finished with our core build, and versus the enemy team, I do think that Thornmail is the way to go. They have a lot of healing on Yone and on Xayah. So also Teemo is going in attack speed Teemo build, so he's going to be proccing Thornmail a lot with that Nashor's Tooth, right? So I think Thornmail is actually a pretty good item here, the buff Thornmail. And then we'll see what we go for after. The enemies do mostly have physical damage, since Jarvan is really fed. Their only AP is Yone does a bit of damage, right? A bit of magic damage. But their main AP carry is Teemo, and they have some AP on the Karma as well. So they don't have too much magic damage, they're mostly physical damage focused. So I think getting this Thornmail will be very useful. And it looks like my team is fighting topside, so this is pretty bad. When you have a winning top lane like Yasuo, I'm so far ahead this game, right? My team should be playing around me, they should be fighting around me. They should not be fighting 4v4s on the other side of the map. Hecarim should be coming towards me and playing with me, since we're more likely to win fights with me there, right? But that's okay, we're gonna be able to get the turret bot and damage the next turret quite heavily. Which is very, very nice. Gonna start building, we're gonna continue building towards our Thornmail. We're actually 4,000 gold ahead, we're really fat. This Yone is very far behind. Our team is overall behind, so this is not a winning game. We're slightly losing here. I'm gonna wait for Hecarim to get the red buff so I can pick that up.
Never could.
We do have a Senna support, which I think is really bad, by the way. Senna support, when you have another marksman like Lucian, it doesn't synergize well. When you're playing Senna, you want to have like a bruiser with you in the lane. Like a Mundo or a Gragas or a Galio or something. Because now, they're just two long-range marksmen. Oh, Jarvan's actually going in on me. I'm just going to ignore him and dash straight for the Karma to get the knock-up. Some clean Yasuo movement. We can probably keep chasing on the Jarvan. And that's the Jarvan down. And now we should be able to get a free dragon because of this. Maybe I can go on the Zarya too. Oh, I got exhausted. Very tanky though. Okay, this was a really bad play. I need to get out. Oh, I trolled. Yeah, that was a really bad play. I baited my team into a pretty bad play while they were doing Dragon. Maybe Hecarim can clean up. Okay, Lucian, I see you. Okay, the Ainting Lucian is now on a killing spree somehow. Go team. And we're gonna be able to finish our Thornmail very early into the game. And even though we don't have too many kills, our gold is insane. We've been able to get so much gold from turrets and from farm that without getting many kills, we're super far ahead from everyone in the game. So definitely don't underestimate how fast Yasuo can farm a bunch of minions and a bunch of jungle camps and take down a bunch of turrets to get gold really, really fast. So when the enemies are ignoring you like this and playing away from you, it's your chance to really, really get fed. We can immediately dash onto the Karma here. Oh, we missed the knockup. Our team is following up. Hecarim can actually give us a knockup with his third ability. It's not needed. Ooh, we missed the knockup again. I can jump on the Zarya. Damn, those were some pretty bad knockups from me. I missed both the tornadoes. That's a-okay. Oh, what is Yon doing? I probably ulted there again, but I wasn't really ready for it. I can get better at like trigger happy using my ulti. I mean, we did get 2 for 0 trade, so that's not bad. Okay, now Hecarim's going in. Or he's gonna clean up the Zarya. Nice dive from the Hecarim. Oh, and Yon is staying too. Yon, you cannot stay, my friend. You need to run. He's gonna ult right away on that knockup. And pick up the Yon as well. So that's a 4 for 0 trade in the Baron lane, getting us really, really fed. Even more than before. And I think I'm gonna build Sterak's Cage, honestly, just to stop some of that initial burst that they have with Karma, Teemo, Jarvan, right? They have a lot of engage burst. So if I can just stop that with a Sterak's shield and then get that tenacity, that's gonna stop some of the Teemo blind. It's gonna stop some of that the feather recall, the Karma for slows and second ability, roots. That's gonna be super useful. Well, we can probably go in on this if I can get my knockup from the blue buff. Kiev is not here, but he does have ultimate. He's gonna jump on the Jarvan. I can go on the Teemo. Perfect dashing to get around the fight. And we're able to clean up the Teemo and the Karma. That was some really nice dashing from him. In the minions going in and out of the fight. This could be a Baron angle. The enemy Jarvan is still alive, but that's pretty much it. As long as we can zone out Jarvan, this could be a free Baron. So in these types of situations, it's really important to zone out the enemy jungler. I'm actually not sure what my team is doing there. It's a bit of a weird fight. Ideally, we want to hit the Baron. And when it starts getting low, we can do their kill or zone out the enemy jungler. So now we can start looking to zone out the enemy jungler instead of fighting. I'm going to try a flash on him. Oh. Okay, well, the enemy's got the Baron. So what went wrong there? Let's analyze it a little bit and teach you guys how to play Baron a little better, because my team did not play it good. Apparently my Hecarim didn't even have smite. So what we needed to do there is stop hitting the Baron, kill the Jarvan, and then finish the Baron. For some reason, my Twisted Fate, my Lucian, my Senna kept hitting the Baron, which makes no sense, because if we just stop hitting the Baron, there's nothing that Jarvan can do, since it's not low HP for him to steal it. We can just turn, kill the Jarvan. I was gonna flash for him outside the pit just to knock him up and kill him, but he flashed in the pit, making it even easier for us. But unfortunately, my team kept hitting Baron, and we lost the Baron. I'm gonna go in here. Fancy movement. I'm in a 1v4, but I don't care. I'm dashing in and out, and I'm still half HP. Picking up the Teemo, jump on the Zarya. Oof. Use the Raptors to get out, and we're out of there. And we picked up the kill on Teemo, not bad. Oh, Yon's actually going in. We're so tanky. Get the knock up on the Yon. Boom, the Yon is gone. I swear my support is doing nothing, but that's a-okay. We're gonna carry him anyway. So we do waste a lot of their Baron buff, and they didn't get too many turrets, so it's not the end of the world. We're able to defend quite well. It doesn't really matter who gets this dragon, since we're 1-1 with dragons anyway, and it's Ocean. It literally does nothing. The healing from it is pretty much non-existent, especially when everyone has anti-heal at this point. That's also a crazy Twisted Fate build. Do not build this. I don't know what this guy is doing. That is not the recommended Twisted Fate build. And this is actually the point in the game where we're really strong as Yasuo, because the enemies don't have the damage they need to kill us. So we're very tanky, and we're still doing a bunch of damage. Like, Xayah needs 5 items, 4 to 5 items to really be able to damage us, and she doesn't have that yet. She's in 2.5, almost 3 items. That's not gonna be enough damage to be able to take us down, so we can just do whatever we want in these team fights. I'm again looking for an engage in mid lane. We do have Twisted Fate who can always ult in. Oh, hi Teemo. I'm gonna look for engage with my dashes. Gonna flash on the Teemo. Boom, Teemo gone. Oh, the enemy team is actually engaging in our backline. Jarvan is actually able to get the Lucian in like a 1v4. Good for him. This is a bit weird now. We probably need to back off. We should not be fighting more. This is like a really weird fight now. We're able to get a 2-for-1 trade, which I don't know how good that was because I wasted my flash for that. I feel like my flash is more important than like a kill on Teemo, to be honest. Especially when I'm this far ahead. But we'll take the trade, not bad. We also got the kill on the Jarvan, which I think was a shutdown, I'm not sure. So, what I'm building here is actually really bad. I just realized that I'm getting both the Thorn Mail and the Last Whisper Eye, the Mortal Reminder. And I'm getting double Grievous Wounds items. So I don't recommend you guys do this. It's usually one or the other. In this case, I should be going for like Bloodthirster or something. So this is a bit of a mistake on my end. Or I could be going for Spirit Visions this game too. So definitely don't do what I'm doing right here. This is a mistake, but you know, I'm not perfect. I make mistakes as well. Okay, good engage on the Yone actually. I wasn't able to ult. Okay, our Wind Wall is zoning a lot of their damage out. Ooh, we got a good knock-up on the Jarvan, ruining his engage. We didn't even get to ulti. It was a good engage from the young Yasuo. And my team is able to clean up. And that's what I love about tank Yasuo, by the way. How he's able to engage fights, dashing through the minion wave into the enemy team, finding these knock-ups and these engages by himself. This is something that damage Yasuo can't do because he just dies when he engages by himself, right? But tank Yasuo can do it, and we're gonna be ending the game here. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video of tank Yasuo, leave a like, subscribe for more Wild Rift content. Also comment down below from a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate tank Yasuo and how much do you hate playing against tank Yasuo? Because I know he's a 10 in my book, actually 100% better than Yasuo's in the same tier, not bad. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Leave a like and subscribe for more Wild Rift content.